Dear Mum, what a strange relationship we had. It was peculiar because you did not acknowledge me as a person who had any value in your life. I was your son, not your firstborn, but first by my father. But I did not rate beside your own siblings, or my siblings, or the dog for that matter. You told lies about me to protect your flawed and very unstable sense of self. This was for a whole lot of reasons that include the times we lived in, your need to be important, to protect your precious reputation that was built on the fear of being judged, and your fragile mental health. So you dismantled my confidence and well-being to build yourself up. And as others have found by trying to always put me in my place and worry about what I was doing, you ended up putting yourself into your own chaotic and angry place that made you what you were doing seem cruel and crazy. I cannot forgive you. Some hurts run too deep, and I judged you a fool that had to be avoided. Your mental illness made it impossible for us to have a sensible conversation. Common sense never got in. You blamed me for leaving home when you left your own children to have an affair, leaving us with a father who had never tried to have a conversation with me and could be violent with us. We were all still children. You decided our educations were destroyed because of the school move from the farm to the town, which was based on your own flawed judgments and inability to seek advice from others. Sadder still was your hard-nosed attitude to me when I had been abused. Never did you recognise the horrible experiences I have had to endure, which also later included my stabbing attack in Sydney. I was a person in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was neither doing anything illegal, nor was I deserving of your insensitive handling of the situation. You looked for any excuse to see me as a flawed and useless person rather than a young man in need of understanding, sound advice and support. You expected constant regard and acceptance of your confused states. But even in your many lucid periods did you manage to ask me what I needed. Instead you bullied, you demanded, you threatened, and you purposely set me up in the situations I would only fail in, as they were always unreal and unplanned, just so much hot air. Considering I was a young man who had lost his father at 17 and you were always so disorganised and erratic, did it never occur to you that we were a family in crisis? The age difference between me and my siblings left me alone. Your pettiness and jealousies towards my cousins and others ensured I would be socially isolated unless I went through you. But from an early age I saw through your pompous facade. Your madness made you more unreal. You were all smoke and mirrors. You were good at surrounding yourself with fools like yourself. You would stare oddly at people, nodding your head like a wobble-bobble toy and smiling inanely. It scared the daylights out of me, and your behaviour attracted some real fruitcakes. Your constant lies convinced my siblings to avoid me. But what you never realised was that they were damaged goods too, and all you did was make it better for us to be separate rather than be reminded of our terrible heritage together. Some families fail. That was your only victory. But then you never did learn that repeating the same mistakes only got you the same results. How ridiculous to have and use 3 married names as though it was a medal of honour. When I did see you, you reminded me of a spider. You used everyone. You ate them. You demanded the centre stage and took it with you. Your need to undermine Any success I had in my art career only seals my contempt. You made a fool of yourself eventually. Mothers are supposed to represent unconditional love. I wonder who thought that one up. Even if they do not like their children as adults, they could leave them in peace. Your legacy was a collection of wounded things. You were greedy and only grew from others' despair because it gave you an opportunity to shine your centre stage light onto your glorious visage. Which now was a funny thing to remember. You never knew me as a friend. You now lie in a boneyard plot next to Dad, who was unloved too. A perfect match, and all your revelations buried with you. Goodbye, and good riddance, Robert. Thank you for listening.